Hi, I'm Tori.
And I'm Leah.
I'm Alix.
Danielle.
And welcome to the Boys Lie. Wait, I just messed up our own intro. Welcome back to the Boys Lie podcast.
Wait, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a
You guys,
podcast where we talk about
Are
the
we
craziest relationship stories you've ever heard. Pop culture and the piping hot tea of our lives.
So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and remember that
Boys Lie.
Boys lie. Boys lie.
Boys lie.
Boys lie. Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.
That was
How did I
Stutter
forget
City.
our own intro? That's
Yeah, we've
crazy.
only done this a million times.
Welcome to our podcast.
So excited to be
Thank
here.
We're so excited to have you guys, and like we have so much to get into. So I think what we'll do to just like get the ball rolling is start with story time. So we have 4 stories, 4 winners.
Oh, and if you guys want to submit your Boys Lie story to the Boys Lie podcast, please submit via boyslieofficial.com. And if your story gets chosen to be read on this podcast, you get a free Boys Lie sweatsuit.
Should I go first this week?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the first story. Hey, Leah, we went to high school together, LOL. Anyways, I dated a guy from Ohio, and honestly, it was basically a charity case because everything about him was a red flag, and he had the ugliest haircut. Early on, he told me he drove an Audi R8 because he knew that I was into cars and the car scene, and he said he lived with his roommate. He also bragged about his muscles, which were non-existent, but I let him think he had muscles because, again, a charity case. Later, I found out that he did not have an R8, but I let that slide because I don't date guys based on the cars they drive. But it turned out he also didn't have a roommate, but he lived with his dad.
This is getting so weird.
Kind of a
Also,
roommate.
like, to brag about a nice car, like, why an Audi R8?
I know, like, I mean, that's a nice car, but it's not like
I know, but
the
if you're gonna
coolest
like
car.
extravagant lie on that shit, like say you have a Ferrari, like I don't know.
So he lives with his dad, and she says, once again, I let that slide and tried to move past it. We were long distance because I live in PA, so our first meal together, we had burgers, and it didn't raise any areas of concern, but during Christmas, I visited him and his family and found out that he holds his eating utensils with baby grip fists. Baby
that
grip
mean?
fists. I don't know, but I'm assuming they're
Like
like
this? Like
they're
this?
like
Like
weird,
holding a fork like this.
I think so. She says, I questioned him and I asked why he used forks, knives, and even spoons like that. And he said that it was comfortable for him. I was wide-eyed and questioning everything. Honestly, I should have broken up with him there and then, but I guess I just felt like I was too old to get back into the dating scene. A couple of months later, he gets me pregnant. Oh my God.
Oh, this took a turn.
Oh,
And when I told him, he completely ghosted me for a week with no calls, texts, or replies. I was in a full panic.
this man lives with his dad and he ghosted you.
Oh my God. Wait, this is crazy. I did not know this was going to take a turn like this. Eventually, I figured my shit out and I got an abortion 2 weeks later, and he suddenly reached back out asking to work on the relationship after the abortion. He said that he loved me and wanted to marry me in the future, thinking that I would say it back. And I was devastated to even have to go through that alone, and I refused to allow him back into my life for leaving me in such a vulnerable and scary time. I made him pay me for the abortion and for me to ship his stupid shoes back to him that he randomly decided to leave in my apartment. That was such a waste of space and weird of him to even leave behind. I am never dating anyone from Ohio again.
Wait, so did he just walk out barefoot?
Good question.
Like dead ass. Like who leaves? Also, if a person's leaving their shoes, I don't give a fuck. Like
Throw it out.
Bye.
Throw it out,
Like you just made me
yeah.
so solo on my own. Okay.
More
the
than
shoes-
solo, you
Yeah,
got her
like-
pregnant.
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
I know,
the
that's
biggest red
terrible.
flag was from the car. It started at the
You
car.
started the car, and then also, like, again, the dad, technically, you're correct. It is a roommate, but, like, that's your dad. Like, that's your family.
I don't know. The lying about the gym, the car, the dad being a roommate, what was supposed
Too
to be
many
a friend.
things.
Yeah.
Those are the first 4. And then the
Also,
long
don't
distance
brag.
relationship.
Yeah. I just
Like,
feel
why are you
so
gonna
bad.
do so like PA to Ohio?
I don't know, but don't date anyone from Ohio, I guess. But, like, I just feel so sorry. I'm so sorry that you were left alone in such a vulnerable place and that you had to go through that alone and make that decision alone. Like, no one should ever have to go through that by themselves. And I do hope that even though he wasn't there for you, I hope that you had some type of support system, that, like, a friend or, like, a family member, because that's crazy. And I'm so sorry. And honestly, like, I don't know, it's your body, your choice, and maybe it was probably the best move to not have that man's child. Honestly.
100% out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And New
I'm so
chapter
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah. Oof.
Oof.
Damn.
Haven't seen her in
Heavy,
years.
heavy start. Heavy start.
Heavy start. I did not realize it was taking that turn.
All of a sudden, we're like, whoa.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this will be really lighthearted, super
Yeah.
easy podcast. Don't worry, gals. And like we start with that one. That was
Well,
dark.
honestly, we got the hard one out of the way. I think the rest are pretty funny.
Okay, I trust you. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. All right. Last year I was at work and noticed that the oat milk I was putting in the fridge was going missing. I kept replacing it. Within 2 days, the carton would be empty and I would have to buy a new one. One day I did my work almost entirely in the office kitchen to see who was taking it. When I saw my coworker, Ryan, take it from the fridge and put it in his coffee, I decided to be mature about the situation and I went to confront him about it. I explained to him that I am severely lactose intolerant and needed the milk for myself, especially because I was paying for it out of pocket and our boss supplied regular milk. Could have I thought he would have understood about it. I think she's just
saying that she thought he would understand.
Yeah.
But honestly, he probably didn't know that it was her oat milk if they're in an office space.
He proceeded to tell me he didn't believe I was lactose intolerant, so that I'd have to share my milk with him if I was going to be continuing to put it in the office fridge. I was so frustrated after that, and at that point I decided it was time for revenge. I bought a new carton of oat milk, emptied some of it out, and filled up the rest of the carton with all types of laxatives.
Oh, I kind of saw that coming.
I put it in the office fridge, did my work in the office kitchen, and watched Ryan as he drank his coffee full of laxatives. He spent the rest of the day in the bathroom learning what it feels like to experience someone who actually has lactose intolerance.
She really
She
chose
has a point.
violence.
She has a point.
She chose violence.
And from there on, I never had to worry about my oat milk being taken again. I think the entire office was just down bad, like low
Yeah.
key.
Milkgate, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't really like. There's certain types of revenge, and I'm like, yeah, like don't do that. But, like that's kind of like.
I think that's hilarious
it's
and
not,
clever.
Not innocent, but it's kind of innocent fun.
Is that considered drugging people?
I'd guess. I would assume like dosing somebody was like something that they didn't want to put
I
in
feel
their
like all she had to
body.
do was write in Sharpie her name on the milk and just,
Yeah.
this is mine. We didn't have to go down this
Yeah.
path, but I'm here for it.
Or like, I mean, how necessary is it even to have it in the office? Like, can she just like order a latte with oat milk so
Or
that way she doesn't have to worry
I would
about
just like
people
Amazon a little
stealing?
mini fridge and just put it in my office.
Maybe
like
she
you know,
has
those,
a
like, little-
cubicle or something.
We have follow-up questions, clearly.
Yeah.
We need more answers.
Do you guys think that that's like good revenge, or do you think it's like not necessarily something you should do to somebody?
I think it's something you would do.
I'm so offended because I was just going to preach about how I'm in my peaceful era and I'm not going
Maybe
to.
back in our corporate days.
the way that you go, and
I
then
was
she's
ready-
like, you
really
would do
ready.
that. Like,
I would have done that back in the day.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In our
fear
corporate
I also
era.
would have done that.
Yeah.
so what do you guys think? You would have done it back in the day, maybe?
I would have done it back in the day. Also, I feel like it depends on who the person was. Is he like doing other things that are annoying?
Also, he gaslit her.
Yeah,
That was the problem. So
Yeah.
I think then it was
Yeah, that's
valid.
true. That
She
is
said,
so
"Don't
true.
do it," and he said,
And he's
"You're not even
right.
lactose intolerant." And she said, "Okay."
Where it's just like, how do you know? Let me prove it to you. Like,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
want to see? But also, I do have to say in the beginning, I was like, well, how is he supposed to know if it's like an office communal fridge like that? It's her oat milk if she didn't put her name on it, like you said. But then for him to say that to her is just
Oops.
not nice. Who wants to go next?
Ooh.
Go ahead, Al.
After my breakup from a long-term relationship, I went absolutely crazy and slept with this wannabe influencer from my country. He's also absolutely crazy, misogynistic wannabe Andrew Tate, I guess.
Oh, that's dark.
But anyways, I was in a really silly mood and got his really specific nickname tattooed with the saying, "Nickname is my daddy." Then I got obsessed with the high from doing something crazy, so I got his nickname in my lip, his initials behind my ear, the QR code to his website on my arm.
No
It
fucking
never
way.
worked, by the way. His silhouette on my other arm, his nickname on my hip, and also on the back of my thigh. Oh my God, she's fully tatted up. His quote and his initials below my breast, and his website on my finger.
No, this is like too far.
Branded.
Like, yeah, that's
Branded.
you've taken it way too far.
So yeah, basically a total of 9 tattoos revolving this guy. Mind you, we had 3 sexual interactions overall, and we're just kind of friends. Then he blocked me after some drama with his other friend, and I never saw or spoke to him again. This was in May 2024. I got all the ones with his name covered and lasering the other ones, but still I have absolutely no regrets. It was so crazy and fun, and many cool stories happened during that time. YOLO is all I have to say, and that nothing is too serious. He also peed in my mouth.
Oh, no.
And by the way,
this girl's got way more stories. Too.
I got the one inside my lip covered with the name of a rapper I was talking to.
Okay.
We do not talk anymore.
Go off, girl.
Live your life.
No, I forgot to
Is the peeing in
send
the
you guys the
mouth-
pictures. She sent in photos. I need to find them on my phone.
So
I'm
this
just
is
looking.
true.
Yeah.
This
She
is
sent screenshots. There's proof, and
show
I'll
you guys.
insert
I
them.
appreciate sending the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll insert them into this episode. These tattoos are, when I first was reading it, I was like, there's no way that this is real, but there's literal proof. It's
Yeah,
all
wait,
over her body.
I
Like,
have them.
Was
in
she
this
like
group chat.
she has a QR
drunk
code
while she was
on
doing the
tattoo.
tattoos?
No, I don't
Like
think so.
it sounds
They
like
say
they were
that's
on
bad luck.
separate occasions.
The part
not
where she's
supposed to
like,
do
I have
names.
no regrets of this time, and then she's like, we've had sex 3 times. I'm just so confused because was the peeing in the mouth like one of those sexual 3 experiences?
I
so.
don't know, but it's like actually insane. Like I was like, there's no way, but it is.
Are they
Like,
little? Are they like sizable?
No, they're like. I mean, the QR code is like probably like this. Like it's a square like this.
Oh yeah,
QR
it's huge.
code really
And
It's
she
like
says
this
it doesn't
big.
even work to his website. Like this guy must have been like incredible in bed. Like how do you just all of a sudden
3
Incredible in
times.
bed. He's peeing in her
Yeah,
mouth.
I keep
but, like,
forgetting
you-
about
The
this.
dick must be that good that you're gonna go get his QR code tatted on your body. Unless you actually like, I'm sorry, girly, like unless you might need to like see a therapist or something, you might need to do that.
Look, you are getting a free sweatsuit, but it is giving clout
Congratulations.
chaser. I'm not gonna lie, like clout chaser demon. Maybe you got case of the clout
What
media.
rapper are you talking to? Can you follow up with the story about
No,
the
no
rapper?
longer.
Oh, no longer.
No longer.
This girl has plenty of other stories. Though,
Yeah,
so
send
we'll
more
stay tuned.
stories.
Yeah, we
I
love
want to
you.
hear more.
And-
I love you.
Wow.
You're wild,
Yeah.
but damn.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You know what? Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's how we're gonna end the segment.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hi, girls. Love y'all. Anyways, where do I even start? So basically, long story short, I found out my boyfriend was cheating, but swallowed my pride and decided to keep it a secret for months. I don't know how you did that. Yes, I know that sounds insane. I should have probably ditched his lame ass and called it a day there, but I decided to stay because he had a parrot that he inherited from his favorite uncle and kept in mind, loved this parrot because it would say some phrase his uncle always said that made him laugh about baseball, yada, yada, yada. Anyways,
So his uncle's dead, and now he has his dead uncle's parrot.
yes,
Okay.
yes, sentimental parrot.
Got it. Sentimental parrot.
Anyways, I stayed with him, and every day when he would leave for work, I would get up and start secretly training this parrot, literally feeding it whatever parrot treats he had, and repeating the words, cheated with the fat slut, cheated
my
with the fat slut, until I swear it was all the parrot fucking knew. Anyways, he put 2 and 2 together and realized I had hijacked his bird, and I broke up with him. He ended up dating the girl, and apparently they never figured out how to get it to stop saying that.
No.
Never fuck with a behavioral therapist. I love you guys.
Wow. She's a
Whoa.
behavioral therapist, and she's
She's
Mic
smart.
drop.
I love the parrot.
the
Yeah.
parrots, honestly, like that's an innocent form of revenge.
I
think.
fuck
We
with
like
the
that
bird.
more than the
Yeah.
laxative.
I love this
Laxatives
story.
Or like anything else. No, that is actually so
The good
funny.
guys win in this story.
Yeah.
It's not funny that you got cheated on. I'm so sorry, but the fact you had the patience, you had the patience of a saint, and like you trained the bird.
And now the bird's like calling your new mistress
Yeah.
the fat slut. That's crazy.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I feel really good after that story.
You also
Yeah.
win a free sweatsuit.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like we have so much to talk about, and I know that you guys like have known each other for a long time, correct? And like we obviously, Tori and I have known each other since we were 11. How did you guys decide as like 2 like best friends to like, hey, like let's start a business together?
Also, for background, for anybody who doesn't know them,
Oh, yeah.
they're the
We
most
should have
amazing
properly
stylists
introed
in the entire
the best
world.
stylists. I was
work
like,
as
everyone should
some
know that, right?
Top tier celebrities, influencers. They did all the styling for Real Housewives of New York this past season for the reunion. You guys are so awesome.
Style
and we're big fans over
icons.
here.
We feel the same about you too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Seriously.
like you guys are way cooler.
Nuh-uh.
Way cooler.
We're not that cool. We're sitting here on the couch. Like
I love how
reading
you guys are
stories.
childhood best friends. It's so
Yeah.
cute. We met in 2018, so
Okay.
right after college.
How'd you guys meet?
We met, actually, Danielle technically hired me. We were working in celebrity relations in New York City, and it was really just us 2 on the team at the time. We were like young, going to all the events, and yeah, we kind of became this hub at our firm of like where influencers and talent would come and we dressed them within the showroom. So that kind of kickstarted our network and how we started working together. We just always had a natural flow and way that we worked.
Always were getting into like some kind of trouble together. Tried to start a blog that got shut down the next day. We were always like up to no good, but just
Knew we
trying
wanted
to do something.
Yeah, you guys like remind me of sisters.
I mean, we've
We get
morphed
that.
into
I'm
each
sure.
other.
That's
how
like
we
us too
feel.
as well.
Seriously. Yeah, then after that chapter, we went off, worked in corporate fashion a bit. Danielle assisted Mimi Cottrell in styling. So during COVID, when we were both working from home while still having our corporate jobs, we kind of had some downtime. And we're like, let's just do like something. And we tested out a few different PR and cold emailing, just old people within our network. And we really found this space within the TikTok world when that really popped off of all these beautiful, great girls and brands wanting to send clothing to them and people wanting to shop what they were wearing, and the like traditional stylists weren't going after them. And we're like, this is a really cool space to tap into. And we started working with like the Ellie Zealers of the world and Alex Earls and Xandra and a few other like up and coming influencers at the time. And yeah, that really kickstarted our careers and where we're at now.
Wow.
There's two things that are very dope. We always get the question, the two of us do, like, oh, would you ever recommend working with your best friend? And we always say no, because we have such a unique relationship. But something that's so special about your guys' relationship is you started by working together. It wasn't like the opposite of being best friends and then deciding to work together. So I actually like love that relationship, and I totally ship that. The second thing is so many people don't understand how difficult and detail-oriented styling is. And when you're like pulling from showrooms, it's not like it's like an easy process either. Like you have to rack up your car, you have to steam the clothes, you have to make sure like in fittings everything looks good, you're taking pictures, you're making sure like those photos are ready so that when somebody goes on a trip, like they're ready to change into exactly what you dress them in.
Yeah, it's like hours of planning and then like labor too. Like you're heavy lifting all of this stuff around lugging it,
Running
all
around, doing returns sometimes. Like it really is nuts. And people, I think, understate this type of job until they're actually in it or have worked with other stylists.
We like to say too, like, it's funny when we hire people on our team now, they're so excited and they show up in heels and an outfit. I'm like,
that's the funniest part.
I give you a day and then next week they're in sweatpants, sneakers. You're running around the city. Like you said, it's manual labor. I mean, even driving here today, we're going right from here to a shoot. The car's completely packed.
I'm in the back
Allie's
seat with like little
this.
suitcases.
Like it never ends. You have to love it to do it. And yeah, I think off the bat, we worked so well together. It wasn't like we were trying to start a business with a business partner. It was, oh, like this makes sense. It naturally fits.
We both wanted it so bad. I mean, when we were still working in corporate, we were working 9 to 5, and then I'd go over. At the time, we were living in the same building.
Oh my god!
And I moved there so we could pursue this.
Oh,
and we'd
cute.
go over to Danielle's, where we had our little studio set up, and we'd work from 6 to 2 a.m.
Oh my god, you
on
guys.
this for well over a year and a half, 2 years. So like we both have this unspeakable like desire to just like want to build and grow, as you two clearly do also.
Yeah, that's
This
the
is
most
so cool
important
talking
thing
to you
too.
guys. 'Cause- sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
go.
off. I was gonna say like we rarely get to like meet with female founders that are also best friends that run their own business. Like I don't even know if we ever really have. So
I feel the same. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, so
like a
it's-
duo is very cool.
Uh-huh. With Tori, like we're lucky that we have each other to like not only bounce ideas off of, but like when we go through something bad, like if something happens in the business where we fail together, and when we win together. And it's almost like so much more special when you're able to celebrate with somebody.
Yeah, and have a sounding board. I think for us, it's like a seesaw too. Like when I have a bad day, at least she can like lift me up and be my anchor, and vice versa. And I feel like that's kind of the power of two. I don't know how people do it solo. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely don't, and I tip my hat off to anyone who does it
Especially
solo.
when all of us do what we're saying, the manual labor
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
the sheer needing to like show up and it actually be one of us. I mean, we'll get to it now that I like live in LA and she's here. Like that
Yeah.
really has elevated our experience working with people. But
I always said I would have never done this alone. Things are great. Like things are great. And when things take a turn, like we have each other, and yeah, we're able to be like, it's not that serious. Let's figure it
Yeah.
out.
As long as it's bad enough where you can laugh about it.
Yeah. Or you're just like, your hands go up. You're like, there's nothing I can
Yeah,
do.
there's nothing you can do, and you kind of have to like let the universe just be like, all
Yeah.
right, whatever.
It always works out.
It does. So when you guys like right now, I'm sure, do you guys get a ton of DMs from like girls everywhere being like, can you please style me? And
Yes, a lot of emails, a lot of like, I don't know if you take us,
Right.
but like,
have you ever turned somebody that's like a big influencer celebrity down?
it depends. There's a lot that goes into styling when you're like starting that intro call, right? People want to buy clothes. People want to loan clothes through PR. Some people have like shopping budget. So a lot goes into it. Depends on like what they're going to. But I feel like we look for someone who has our vibe, or we truly like believe in and like see their success. I mean, we just started working with Halle Belcher.
We love her.
Children. Yeah, she's great.
And we feel like she's going to be like so cool, and we want to do like a street style shoot with her and get her all squared up because she hasn't like tapped into that styling world
She
yet.
could too,
Yeah.
so easily.
Did you guys just style her for like the last couple of shows she was at?
We just went to Aspen. We did like
Okay,
a
yes.
Danielle and Alix trip.
That looks so fun.
Yeah, we were supposed to
I know,
be
we couldn't.
sponsoring that trip.
I
I was home. My dog passed away, so I was home
Sorry.
with my dog. So like I wish we could have gone, but
Next
it was just
one.
like not.
We'll do something this summer.
Yeah,
I
let's
should have
do
not
next
been there.
year.
I've been a mess,
I
and
was
like
having also
obviously
a global meltdown.
we
in
do
the
everything
office, so.
too together.
course.
She was like, you were debating it, and like it was just a hard. January is a hard month, and like even the beginning of this month has been hard.
January is the longest month ever.
Always.
I
Every
know.
year.
It was like a full year long. It was too long.
Aspen looked really fun though. So like, how did you pick and choose the girlies that you wanted to bring on the trip?
Well, Allie's gonna kill me because every time she blinks, I'm like, we're doing another event. Now we're doing a
I'm
brand
like,
trip.
I need to stay put for 1 second. No, it was so fun. It was
I get
awesome.
that.
I'm glad we did it.
But yeah, we wanted it to be a really good time. So we picked girls that were like, all right, who's like friends? Like, let's have a good time in
seems so
Aspen.
fun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
with Casa del Sol,
Yeah.
so like the girls.
Some tequila vibes.
Was Kathy there?
Mm-mm.
Because isn't her tequila?
We love Steph.
It's
Shout out
Eva
Steph.
Longoria's
Oh, I thought it was
tequila.
Kathy Hilton's tequila.
She might be part of it also.
Oh.
We love them. We'll definitely do another
But
event.
yeah, also Can't Breathe in Aspen. That was fun.
we were
Yeah.
inhaling the oxygen, like hitting it like
Oh,
my
I would
God, no,
die.
I'm sure.
I have the worst asthma on the planet. When we did our walk up with our 60-pound bags,
of course.
I almost passed away.
No,
like,
I don't know how you
actually.
guys do it around here.
I was like, I'm gonna
even.
throw up.
Would you guys turn somebody down if they were like, I have a 4-floor walk up?
Honestly, at this point,
Yeah.
nothing's worse than like going to a shoot in Brooklyn and you're like 7 suitcases in and you open the door and I'm like, where's the fucking elevator?
No,
That-
I
that's
think that should be
actually
a
criminal.
requirement, or like you're like, I need at least one strong man on the property.
But that's where like the brand should step in or the team should step in to
Yeah.
be like, hey guys, let me help you, because our team actually is super hands-on when it comes to that stuff.
That's
like,
nice.
I feel like we're just learning how to like ask for the right things.
Yeah.
But for a while we're just like, we're such yes people. We'll just like do and say
and you
anything.
have to figure it out.
Yeah.
So last minute too, I'm sure. What's the most last minute request you guys have gotten that was for a big event?
Even just from Aspen.
What happened in
Fly-
Aspen? I'm like,
Danielle
day by
wasn't
day.
supposed to come back to LA with me. I last minute got booked to go to Super Bowl.
Oh my
So
God.
then Danielle had to take over. We had 2 really big fittings to work for Kensington Tillow and Monet McMichael for Super Bowl.
And Kelsey,
And
that was
Kelsey
last
Anderson.
minute.
So it all while we were in Aspen, they all booked us.
And then
so
you're
my
like
God.
frantic to go pull.
Yeah, were you guys
Oh,
like
yeah.
panicking? Really, how are we gonna
Oh, we
get-
had a whole brand dinner where me and Allie were not present because she was in an igloo.
I was 3 drinks in
Yeah.
and in an igloo on FaceTime with my assistant, walking her through how to pack.
Oh my
and
God.
in New York, Brianna LaPiglia was doing a fitting with our assistant,
Oh
and
my
it was just like,
God.
So it's not all
Rough
that
day
it
to be
seems
honest.
on
No,
Instagram, isn't it?
No, it's crazy. That's same thing with us too. I feel like when people are like, "Oh my God, I want to apply for Boys, I want to work for you guys," like it seems like so amazing. Like honestly, it's like you are probably thinking
You don't know
that's
what
the
you're
way-
signing up
yeah,
for. Like
it's-
there are people like, I
it's a
want to be in
lot.
marketing. I'm like, do you know what that means? Like it's not pretty. It's
Yeah.
actually only pretty when you see the photos and the assets of like the final pieces put together.
no,
Everything else is so
Brianna
ugly.
literally, I think, finished our assistant at 2 a.m. and slept on the couch. She stayed there that night because she woke up and then dropped off the suitcases.
Oh,
Dedication. Shout out, Brianna.
Seriously.
We love
That's
you.
what we're looking for.
Yes.
Wow, real shout out.
how many people do you guys have working for you now?
I have 4 in New York,
That's great.
and you've had a lot.
I had a handful in LA.
Yeah.
We have 1 full-time assistant between New York and LA who like helps us both out, but right now I just have a few other like assistants in LA.
Yeah,
So
you need it.
It's a lot. It's like
Especially in
rejuggling
LA,
your
it's a lot of driving
personality, too.
around.
Yeah.
yeah, we're looking for a real match, someone that feels like an extension of one of us.
Yeah, I feel like you need like a whole team.
I'm going to shout her out too because I feel like you guys would totally connect with her. But Lauren Jaworski, do you guys know who she is? She's fabulous. She worked for Kate Young for like ages and
Cool.
she is just such a cool girl. Now is on her own too. Very fun, blondie, LA
She's
girl.
so
pop.
nice.
So nice. Couldn't
So
be
nice.
nicer. And you guys would connect with her. And I
Cool.
feel like if you ever need an extension, she's definitely like one of the best people.
Yeah, if you know
ever.
anybody in London, we're looking.
Oh my God,
we need somebody in London.
I honestly, one of my best friends lives there. Her name is Cardin, and she's a fashion girly. Let me ask her. I'm sure she might know
cute.
somebody.
She
Yeah,
worked for my Teresa for forever, and
Yeah.
she's like the best.
she's the best style. I used to like steal all of her clothes in college. Honestly, I'll ask her. I was actually just talking to her the other day. So you guys started here in New York, and then you obviously moved to LA. Was that a decision because you wanted to like expand the business and be in 2 places at once, or did you want to move to LA just because you've always did you live there before?
No, we're both from New York, and like you said, worked here, really built up the business here. And I guess I started flying out there. It felt like at first once every few months, and then it turned into like once a month. it was always me between the two of us. I had a friend there. I would stay with her. And then I like fell in love with it whenever I'd go out there. So it became a new goal of ours to be like, let's open a full-time LA office. We have the clientele, and it just makes sense like to double down on the work. There's two of us. It was kind of, by the end of our time both here, it was almost like silly for us both to be working on the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, we'd be doing the same fitting, and it's like, we're working as one person.
So yeah, it's been awesome, great utility, and like, yeah, since being out there, we didn't know what would unfold, and it just has like opened so many doors.
So smart.
And for our clients, they're so bi-coastal, so they know they're getting one of us. If they have, a premiere in LA and then they're going to Fashion Week in New York, you're getting the service from either me or Danielle, not an assistant.
That's like the most clutch powerhouse ever, though, honestly, because even when we come to New York, I mean, now we have like a pretty good Rolodex of like makeup artists or hair people, whatever, but it's honestly, wherever we're traveling, we're like, shit, wait, we might need help with this certain thing. And I sometimes wish we could be in two places at once between the two of us.
Also, I feel like our lives like morph into our brand. I'm sure your lives morph into you guys are obviously the faces, and so are we. So it becomes a lot. Like, do you guys ever, as like two like besties like working together, have you ever butted heads over like a certain client or just anything in general?
I feel like we've never fought.
Oh wow, that's
but
great.
I think we like, maybe more so me, will encourage you to be like, all right, I know you have 10 fittings, but like, what's another one? Like, just do it.
Yeah,
that's so me coded.
Yeah, that's so you. And I'm like,
I feel like maybe we're sitting on the right side, but it's good. It's balanced. It does. She pushes me for sure.
For a sec, I was like, that's so me. Like,
that's another one.
And then in the moment, and then after, I'm like, you know what? It all worked. Like we said before, it all worked out. Always able to get it done. It's always like a learning. So,
but you need that. Like, I also need her in my life too to do that. Sometimes, even though in the moment I'm like, I can't. Like, I
feel like we're similar.
Yeah. No, I swear, when you're like, I can't go to another place, I just want to stay put for a moment. I was like, I can't.
Because I could hear it in your voice and I'm like, listen, it's up to you, but
by the way, when she says that, it's never up to me.
it's up to not you.
This is so me coded.
She's like, you don't have to, but like you should. I'm like,
know.
I have to.
But it's good. Business is good.
You guys are. That is so funny.
That is really no. I am that
What's your
person.
sign?
I'm Taurus.
Okay, I'm a Gemini.
Me too.
She's Gemini.
Interesting.
What are you?
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
We love Leos and Geminis.
All good signs.
We all get along.
Yeah.
So how do you guys keep it separate, I guess? Like, how do you guys keep your business and personal lives and friendship like separate?
It's definitely intertwined,
Yeah.
right? Even like my personal Instagram is all pictures of me and Allie.
Same.
Same.
Yes, exactly.
But I think at the end of the day, whether we're doing a fitting, going to an event, going to red carpet, turning it on and like working, that's work. And when we come home, we're hanging out with our friends from high school, and
It's also fun. We get to go to do everything together, as you guys do too. Like all the trips and the events. Like ever since we've been in separate cities and have to like face doing that alone, we're like,
yeah,
so
like you again.
Yeah.
Where am I seeing you next?
I know. So it's all like part. Like I kind of love how intertwined it is.
Yeah.
It's really cool and special.
And we ground each other. Like we'll go in an event or like in Aspen, we're hosting, and then we're in the room and we're like, like.
Or like we know how to sit in we'll sit in
Yeah.
silence for
Oh
an
my
hour.
God.
Obviously,
You guys.
like
When we did our
Speaking our language.
when we pulled up to the walk up, the like poor soul who was our Airbnb guy, I was like, I'm putting you to work. I can't lift this. We get up there and the two of us literally like sit on the chairs in the living room. I think in silence for like 30 minutes. Like
We didn't speak.
Yeah.
that is friendship.
Yeah.
And like I don't even think we realized that we weren't speaking. We were just sitting there like looking, scrolling, doom scrolling, and then I was
Sweating.
Like, and I look up at one point. I'm like, I don't think we've spoken since we've walked inside this Airbnb.
We'll say something like, all right, so you ready to talk about it now? Are we ready?
We've learned how to. I think. Well, as you guys too, we've learned how to navigate each other and each other's personalities. So now we know how to manage it.
Yeah, you really have to like. I'm sure you guys know each other like the back of your hand, and it's just like her. Like she always says, like I know when you're in a bad mood by the way you walk like into a room.
She could breathe the wrong way and I'm like, fuck. Like
Well, you'll never spend, at least at this point in our lives, more time with anyone. Like maybe even like your husband. Like,
Yeah.
this is like, we're in constant communication. If we're not together, we're on the phone.
Yeah.
We're on email. We're texting. We're in all group chats. Like,
It's a marriage.
yeah.
It really is a marriage. We're actually in
Michael ever
a
get
group
jealous of
chat
me?
with with our significant others, and it's called your other significant other because it's like truly it feels like that.
No, Kevin, sometimes like I'll be like at home, we're both sitting on the couch like watching a show. He's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? It is 9 p.m. It's Monday. You guys have been together all day. Like you're with her every day. What are you guys talking about? I'm like, honestly, I don't even know. Like work sometimes like he's like, what the hell? He's like, I just don't get it. I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Like there's no way.
I don't think we ever.
It never ends.
Yeah, we never have nothing to not talk about.
Yeah. That's the perfect way to have a friendship and a business partner.
Are you guys in relationships?
I am.
I'm not. Find me someone. You guys know someone.
All of our guys are gay. Like we're only friends with
One
gay
guy I know
boys.
would be like so cutie for you, but
Yeah.
also New Yorker.
That's
my
fine.
God,
I'm here all the
And
time.
like so.
Wait, he'd be obsessed with her too.
I know.
Should we hang out
I
this
love
weekend?
this for you.
He like just like started dating somebody, but like I think if he met you, he might have to dump her.
We have a
Fine.
nickname for her though.
That's never good.
Well, we
That's
didn't
never
start
good.
it.
We
He
didn't
did.
start it. He started it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not good.
I know. We can't say more. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
How long have you been in your relationship for?
So no, I have
Okay.
the craziest story.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Is this the first tell all?
I guess
my
I'm
God,
outing
exclusive.
myself.
Exclusive?
I love this.
I've known him forever. Went to
Okay.
high school together. Went to college together.
Oh, so it's deep.
Yeah, he always tried. I was like, we're just friends. We're just friends. I mean, has like everything going for him. My whole life, I always said like, why do I try to set him up with people? Why did I try to set him up with Allie? Like, he's perfect. He's perfect.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind that like it could be us.
Okay.
And then yeah, now it's us.
One night, you just like
I love that.
something switched. Maybe
It just clicked. I think maturity on my part, finally being ready for like
The next step of anything.
yeah, that type of relationship where it is just really grounded and solid and like built on a friendship. I've never had that, and I think
Wow.
that yeah,
You
it's
might
like-
be the one that you end up marrying. Honestly,
I think so.
Yeah.
Like we've just known each other for
so long.
yeah.
Wow. That is crazy. I've never dated a friend. I don't think. That I've
It was
known for
hard
so
to get
long.
there. It was
Yeah.
tricky to get there.
But I'm sure it's like the most magical thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
and
once
you
we
guys
got
are
there, I
probably
was
now
like-
why were we waiting like all
Yeah.
this time to?
I really just had to think if I did because I've had so many like exes and I don't think I have either.
Well, I'm like, I'm trying to think back on all your 13 exes. I'm like, I don't know which one was the friends. Let me think. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think any of them.
When was the first time you guys heard about Boys Lie?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Like before I don't even know what year, but I remember talking about you guys to people.
Aw. Hopefully in a good
And-
way.
No, the best way. I think we have some mutual friends. But yeah, I remember really, really early on.
Yeah.
I think COVID was when we.
sweats all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Do you guys we like to ask all of our guests too, and you don't have to, you can plead the fifth if you want, but we always ask if you guys have like a boys' lie story that you're willing to share. It could also be a friendship breakup.
Ooh. I mean,
It's all
Go ahead,
anonymous.
I'm trying to think.
I've had like some crazy.
You have
Yeah.
crazy.
Are you willing to share?
I'm a relationship girl, clearly, because I've been single for maybe like a year of my life.
It's okay, me too. Against your
You guys are the same and we're the same.
I just
Yeah,
love, I love
actually.
to be like.
I
you
love
know, But like going back into it, yeah, my younger self, I dated 2 professional athletes.
Oh.
Very naive,
Mm-hmm.
very much so being at a game, and that's the wives section, and that's everyone's girlfriend, and being like, but not me, not like
Yep.
my
It would never
man.
happen to me.
And yet, then it happens.
They all cheat.
yeah,
Like
Artists, athletes,
Assholes,
assholes.
yeah.
Motto when it comes to that.
So, no athletes. Again, matured, and then yeah, I dated someone for a really long time, like 5 years. Thought it was the
Wow.
one. Don't know why, because all the signs were there from day one.
It happens.
It lent us to a good party era, but it wasn't good for.
Yeah, wasn't husband.
yeah. 5 years is a
And
long time.
Long time. Yeah. Do you have anything to speak on my relationship?
Oh,
You were
on your
the
relation-
third
yeah,
person.
Plenty to speak on it. No, it just by the end, every time we would, I don't know how much I want to
Yeah.
say.
No, it was
every
bad.
time we'd go on a work trip, it would be like an explosion.
Oh, okay.
And missing and this and that, and it was
Yeah.
just like we were like in Paris on like our first international trip with L'Oreal. We were so excited. we got there, and you
Oh,
were
yeah.
like in the
In the
hotel
bathroom.
bathroom screaming the whole time. I'm like, I want to go get a croissant.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
God, I
like-
feel so bad because I've been there too.
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I knew you'd get through it.
It's also hard to tell your friend like that's been in a relationship for 5 years and your business partner like you need to like.
No, we were also all kind of like dubbed by him. Like I loved him, and like he
Yeah.
was like so great to us and me and whatever. Like it felt like we all broke up.
Right.
Yeah.
Get to a point and now be on the other end of it when you do have a really great support system or that person. Like looking back, I'm like, I can't believe
You put up
we
with it
did
for
that.
so
And
long.
Yeah.
running a business is hard enough.
Yeah.
Like that added layer of stress and just like worry and not sleeping and like I don't know why.
Yeah, it's
I
been
was
a
in it
pleasure
for so
working with
long.
you the last few months.
I know. I'm in my like lover girl era. I'm like
I love that. And it's also, I feel like when it gets to the point where like you're also having like these screaming matches like in front of people, like, and you're like, even if I know you're in a hotel room and you had nowhere to go, but like I feel like that's also when it's like,
oh yeah, no, Allie's the extension. Like
Yeah.
she was through it all, and I respect her so much that when she was finally like, I don't like, she didn't even have to say anything. Just like I don't know. Like, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's bad.
You know, it's bad too. Like I mean, with one of my exes, two of my exes actually, there was one of them that was working with us for a little bit, and
that was hard.
I could tell it was really hard, especially on you, because I knew that you didn't like him, and it was hard on our relationship or our friendship in general. But even when I started to like not like him anymore, and I was just kind of tolerating it for the work stance on things, I could just tell. I'd look at you and you would just be like, look, like you put both hands in there and you'd be like, as long as you're happy, dude, like it is what
Yeah.
it is. Like I don't know what else to say or do at this point, but
Yeah, because I just like wanted you to like make the decision. It's also like I don't want to be putting things in somebody's head if they're not feeling that either. But I'm always gonna be like, if you were to ask me like
yeah,
any question, I'd probably be like fully open and honest with you. But it's hard because you don't want to meddle in somebody's relationship either, especially as like young adults. It's like let them figure it out. And I knew you would.
Yeah, and also when you are so close to each other and work together on a daily basis, you already are directing each other to do things on a
Yeah.
daily basis. So it's hard to also say like, and then
Here's
with
my
your
opinion on
person,
this.
Yeah, like, now
Yeah.
it's like really all. It's like the whole life
because
but-
I mean, I hold your opinion to such a high standard. So for me, and I'm sure you guys do the same thing too. So when it's like a partner
Right.
isn't liked by your bestie
It's
slash work
so
buddy,
hard.
it makes it so much worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was interfering with the business,
For sure.
yeah.
and
You're like this is a
Yeah.
problem.
So we
now.
all made it out in
alive.
the clear.
yeah,
Oh God.
And now Brian drove us here today.
Angel. We
And-
love.
With his
Yeah,
loaded up car.
yeah.
Okay, we need to hear your boy's life story.
I think I'm more the problem. I'm it's girls' life. No, I was in a relationship on and off for like 10 years.
Oh
literally
my
since
God.
welcome week of college through before I moved to LA. That was also kind of part of my move on top of everything else.
How
that was
long
like my
on? How
clean
long
cut.
off?
We'd be on for like years at a time and then take a break. I think I always knew deep in my heart it wasn't going to happen, but it was such a close friend and we ran in a similar circle and it was so fun that, but then I just couldn't get it to that next level of like, this is my husband. So once I was able to like make the decision to move, it was like clean slate,
Because he's
start over.
here.
He's here.
Okay.
So that's because before I just really wasn't able to like date clear minded. And
I
then
think you needed to leave the city.
I need to
Yeah.
physically remove myself. Dating in LA is fun. It's like a
pool, just
playground.
women.
It's crazy.
I mean, I thought I'd move there and immediately meet my
Find
husband,
it,
and
yeah.
then you learn that it's basically like adult day camp. So the men are like 35 and all like, yeah, I'm just still like hanging out, getting around.
You're
and
like,
I'm like, yeah, I feel like I was recently kind of done bad by a guy who lived in New York, and I was kind of seeing between both cities, and I like thought we were gonna date, and he's like, I just moved here, like I'm just not ready
hate that
after like a
excuse.
$400 omakase meal on a Monday. So I'm like, not that.
I just moved here. Like aka like I want to continue to see if I meet anybody else. Like no, sorry. You are.
But
We're
you
recovering.
did do that when you moved to LA, and you were like,
100%.
I'm not trying to be serious. I just
and
moved
that's
here.
why I'm the problem. We're working on it.
It's okay. When I first met my husband, the first 4 months, like it was like that, like open house. I was just like, no, like I can't do this. I'm just still
I
getting.
remember
out of
you
the
didn't even
cellar.
invite him to your birthday party.
I did invite him.
Oh, you did? He just didn't come?
Yeah, he said
Okay,
it wasn't
okay.
a real invite.
Oh. Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, that is so Michael coded.
But honestly, like, I feel like you needed that time too. Like you are a relationship girly too, and I think that you jumped a lot. And I think during that time, I did like how you were like not in your fuck girl era at all, because you weren't like fucking around talking to a lot of people, but you were just like having fun, and you weren't like letting like it get too serious until you were ready.
Yeah, I was just so happy with me at that time, like just being free of the previous relationship that I was like, I just need to blow off some steam.
It's an important era, but
Yeah.
our astrologist told me
yes.
that I'm going to meet
Rosie.
someone in June. So
Oh my God.
I'm fine.
Wait, who's your astrologist? I need to know. You don't
Rosie.
set it up.
Tell
Tell
me
me after. Unless you want to.
Rosie. No, Rosie. She's the best. I tell everyone. Everyone does it. They love her. She's like Dua Lipa,
I call
Gigi.
her?
Yes.
She will love.
She got it for so a friend got it for her birthday, and she got it for me. I just bought it for my other friend. Like,
Oh my God, wait, I need to
sisterhood.
know.
She's
Oh,
so
Yeah, that's
spot
what I want for my
on.
birthday.
Okay, I'll buy it for you.
I think
Done.
that's what I got for you for your
It is,
birthday.
and
I'll get you a really early birthday gift.
I've been
this year.
holding it very tight, so I'll circle back in June if
Oh
when
my
Prince
God,
Charming
can you
appears in my
imagine?
lap.
I actually really do believe in that stuff too. Like, so I lived here for 2 years before we started Boys Lie, and we would run around the city together. Like, I was working at Yelp at the time, and like we both were going through like really, really hard heartbreaks, and we were just going crazy and like having so much fun. But I remember one day we got really drunk and we went to see a psychic, and the psychic, like, everything she told you came true.
It has come true. Every single thing.
Every single thing. And then I go to get read, and she's like doing my palm. She goes, I can't really get a good read on you. She like couldn't remember. She couldn't like figure
Meanwhile, I'm
me
sitting there
out.
crying, and I'm like, what do you mean?
But you don't give me like closed off energy. You give me very open.
I don't
like-
know. I like thought maybe I give open too, but she was like, I can't. She did say, she's like, I think you might get really sick. And then I actually went home that day and I started throwing up.
Yeah.
But I don't
She
know if that was,
gave
like,
you
a mental
something.
thing. But she couldn't like figure me out. So I felt like that was so weird. So I've kind of been like scared ever since. I'm like, what if like
Which was
she
so
didn't want to tell me something bad, or like
crazy, because I feel like you were the one who was like
I
so
wanted to
excited. Yeah,
go.
she was the one who wanted to go. We get a little drunk, and I'm like, fine, I'll go. I really don't want to do this because I feel like it was like witchy a little bit.
Yeah.
A little witchy.
Like maybe you don't mess with it. I wasn't really sure. And then when I started getting my palm like read, sobbing, like immediately sobbing. I was like, oh, I'm so afraid right now.
and she was like
everything
able to
you're
like
saying is true.
say her whole life
Yeah.
and Tori. I was like, and if anything, I feel like I thought she was gonna be able to read me.
No, and it's still happening.
I
Some of
know.
what she
Of course.
said, which is so crazy.
Well, Rosie even goes back prior to starting our business, and she was like encouraging us to do that.
guys
Oh,
go.
really?
I mean, it didn't make sense at the time.
Wait, I love that.
She was like male-dominated business, and then we really kicked off with Sports Illustrated.
wow.
So I was like, oh, it clicked.
Okay, that's
Sometimes
amazing.
I think it's literally just putting it in the air, and it's like manifestation in a different height of power.
Yeah. Well, I love you guys. Is there anything that you guys want to tell our audience, like anything new and exciting that you guys are doing, or anything to look out for?
We're going to shoot something today. We're trying to be more like forward-facing, do more like brand collabs. What else do we have going on?
Yeah, I know.
It's like us yesterday. Like, I don't know. What do we have?
Maybe some brands coming out soon.
Fun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're like, what
More
day
trips,
is it? Where
more
are we
events.
going?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to do something with
We
you guys.
should.
for
We
sure.
love,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Wait, we're going to Aspen. Boys
my God.
Lie.
We need
Hamptons
to.
over the summer. No,
The
we're trying
Hamptons
to-
would be
Hamptons
so
would be so
fun for us to
fun.
do. We were talking about that last night because I try and go at least
Done.
once
Yeah.
throughout the summer.
We should go.
We need to.
I think like now it's like hopefully all the bad stuff of the year has already just happened, and like we can just continue to like have a good time, and we can
know,
like
I'm ready
actually
to,
come on a
move
trip next
on.
time. Yeah. 2025 has already been. It's only up from here.
Yeah.
No, all good things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we love you.
No,
Thank
we
you
love you
We
guys.
love you.
I love being with
Podcast.
the
To be
duo. It's so
continued.
cool.
It's
To be
so much
continued.
fun. It's so much fun. Wow, I go. This is so funny. Also, anyways, buckle up.
Enjoy the ride.
Remember that.
Boys Lie.
They do.